Assalamualaikum to my panels. My name is Muhammad Khairul Rizwan bin Shahruddin. Today I want to present a slide, subject research methodology in sports and behavior science SRT606, which is my title of this research is comparison resting heart rate between active and sedentary among UTEM Sports Center male staff. In the table of content, we have background of the study, statement of the problem, research objective, significance of the study, literature review, and methodology. The introduction, chapter 1 shows that the background of the study. The citation is from Edward R. 2020. A normal resting heart rate of adults range from 60 to 100 beats per minute. Generally, a lower heart rate at rest implies more efficient heart function and better cardiovascular fitness. For example, a well-trained athlete might have a normal resting heart rate closer to 40 beats per minute. Next, one possible mechanism explain increase in life expectancy through exercise and physical activity might be the mediating effect of resting heart rate. Furthermore, from Matthew 2060 citation, which is place your index and middle finger on your wrist just below the thumb or along either side of your neck so you can feel your pulse. Use watch to count the number of beats for 30 to 60 seconds and double it to get your beat per minute. Okay. People who get lots of physical activity or are very athletic generally have lower heart rates, which is the person is active because the heart is in better condition and doesn't need to work as hard as the sedentary people who have higher heart rate. In people who are sedentary and out of shape, the heart is also out of shape and has to beat more frequently to meet the body oxygen demand. This is from Hanna citation 2020. Next is statement of the problem. Higher resting heart rate is associated with increased risk of cardiovascular event and death in men and also women. And resting heart rate that is above 100 beats per minute can reflect exposure to stress, excessive caffeine consumption, or an illness. So, visit your doctor if your heart rate is consistently above 100 beats per minute or if your heart is below 60 beats per minute if you are not an athlete, which means an athlete usually have a lower heart rate which is below than 60. But if you are not an athlete but you have below heartbeat per minute, which means you have problem with your heart. Okay, we have two research objectives, which is the first one is to investigate the relationship between men's lifestyle and resting heart rate. The lifestyle means either the man active or sedentary person in lifestyle. Next, the second research objective is to identify resting heart rate between active and sedentary person. The significance of study show that a lower resting heart rate is better when it's come to your health. It's a sign your heart is working very well. When it's low, your heart pumps more blood, which each contraction and easily keeps a regular beats. Next, for high resting heart rate may mean your heart work extra hard to pump blood. If your pulse is consistently more than 100 beats per minute at rest, it's a good idea to see your doctor. Over time, a high resting heart rate may affect your heart works. A high rate can also raise your chance of cardiovascular disease. So, chapter 2, which is literature review, shows that resting heart rate is the heart pumping the lowest amount of blood you you need because you are not exercising. If you are sitting or laying and you are calm, relaxed, aren't ill, your heart is normally between 60 beats per minute and 100 beats per minute. Next, it's from Jane 2019. Endurance athletes often have a lower resting heart rate than the others. Heart rate is measured in beats per minute. Your resting heart rate is best measured when you are sitting or lying when you are calm state too. Heart rate that are constantly above 100 even when the patient is sitting quietly can sometimes be caused by the abnormal heart rhythm. A heart rate can also mean that heart muscle is working so weak by a virus or some other problem that force it to beat more often to pump enough blood to the rest of the body. Okay, chapter 3, which is methodology. First is research design. The quantitative research design specific to survey research design. This research design had been chosen to align with the research objective. Okay, the independent variable is type of lifestyle of UTEM Sports Center male staff, and the dependent variable is resting heart rate of UTEM Sports Center male staff. Okay, now furthermore we explain about sampling. The population of UTEM Sports Center male staff only in UTEM Malaysia, Melaka, they have 85 population only in the sports center. So the inclusion is male and UTEM Sports Center staff only, which is their age from 18 to 60 years old, men only. The exclusion is there are no exclusion because the task is quite easy and not lead to some injuries. So the number of sample is 87 respondent based on the table Craig Chi and Morgan 1970. The number of population is 85. So the number of the sample size is 70. But the assumption of 20% dropout rate is 14 respondents. So we added to the 70 sample size. So we have the number of sample total of 84 respondents. The instrumentation, we want to know the type of lifestyle, which is the IV. So we have only one section questionnaire survey. The questionnaire survey will be distributed to the samples through online website, which is Google Form. The subject must be responsible to answer all the questions given in the survey. There are two norms of the selected lifestyle, which is active lifestyle and sedentary lifestyle. There are some questions will be asked to the subject, which is their daily activity to determine their type of lifestyle. So, I use health and physical activity questionnaire from MA Pereira 1997 to determine their health status and physical status, so we can know either the person is active or sedentary person from the questionnaire. First question is about health. The question is, are you a smoker? Are you an alcoholic? Did you often eat fast food or junk food? Did you often eat oily food? So from there we know the health status either is good or bad. Okay, next we want to ask about the physical activity question, which is how many days did you do cardiovascular exercise per week? How many time did you spend on cardiovascular exercise per day? Next, how many days did you do muscular exercise per week? And how much time did you spend on muscular exercise per day? Next is how to calculate resting heart rate, which is the DV of the male staff as UTEM Sports Center. Okay, we do the task is a self-task survey. The self-task will be distributed to the sample through online WhatsApp group, which mean I will explain the instruction in the WhatsApp group to let them know and do the task by itself. So the subject must be responsible to do the task in the survey to identify the staff resting heart rate either low or high resting heart rate. Okay. The questionnaire and the self-task survey will be in dual language, which is English and Bahasa Melayu, to make sure the subject or samples understand the survey. Okay. To determine their resting heart rate, we use resting heart rate checkup from Matthew Solon 2016, which is I will explain the step to count the resting heart rate to the sample. First, test resting heart rate in the morning before you get out of the bed. Okay. Next is place two fingers, which is middle and index fingers, gently against their wrist to get the pulse or heartbeat. Then count the beats for 60 seconds. We only want the beat for 60 seconds, and then we determine that their resting heart rate. The data analysis is to investigate the relationship between men's lifestyle and resting heart rate among UTEM Sport Center staff, and we use descriptive statistic in this study. Next, to identify resting heart rate between active and sedentary person among UTEM Sport Center male staff from the questionnaire and self-task survey, we use independent t-test in this study.